everyone, welcome to my next mini tutorial on the styling sessions. I'm sorry it's taken so long to get something out. I had spent hours filming this tutorial last week, sent it off to my boyfriend so he could edit and render and do whatever he does with it, and he kind of sent it back and he's like, yeah, Beck, we might need to reshoot this one. So anyway, then life happened. I'm back here. I'm here to teach you about body types, body shapes, and how you can work out what your body type is using two different kinds of measurements. Let's get started. Okay, so body types. You will have heard lots of different terms when it comes to different body types. Apples, pears, hourglasses, columns, rectangles, triangles, inverted triangles. There's all these different terms out there and it can be a little bit confusing. So my job today is just to narrow it down for you so that you're able to know what your particular body type is. Now, everybody's body type is different, and I do just want to start off by saying no one body type is better than any other. They are all beautiful, they are all equal, they are all individual, but they are all perfect just the way they are. My job as a stylist is, when I know somebody's body type or body shape, it's just to create balance, because once we create balance, visually it looks more appealing. So knowing your body type helps you to find pieces that create balance with your body. As a stylist, I use two different kinds of measurements. And they measure your horizontal lines and your vertical lines. Wow, I totally got that wrong then, didn't I? I've been practicing this so much. Your horizontal lines and your vertical lines. Those measurements are far more accurate, and they just help to kind of create an average so you know roughly what you are. Now, I don't want anyone to feel pigeonholed into one particular body type. Sometimes you can be a combination of two. If you're going through weight loss, your body shape may change. Opposite as well, if you're in pregnancy, your body shape is definitely changing. I read something the other day that said a woman's hips will continue to grow well into her 70s. So, you know, even that, your body shape's always changing. So it's just a guide, it's not the Bible. And just take it as, you know, a bit of extra information to help you, I guess, dress better, feel more confident in what you put on. So now I'm going to show you 5 different body types. I narrow mine down to 5. I just feel like that is, it kind of covers everyone, and then you're not overwhelmed with all these other choices. So here we go. Here are my 5 body types. Okay, so body type number 1 is the hourglass. The hourglass is typically the that curvy, womanly shape. The shoulders and the hips are the same width, and the waist is brought in quite narrow. Body type number 2 is the column or the rectangle. This body type tends to be quite tall and doesn't have a lot of shape. The shoulders, waist and hips are all roughly the same measurement. Body type number 3 is the triangle or the pear. This is where the most narrow measurement is at the shoulders and the widest measurement is at the hips. Number 4 is the inverted triangle. So that's the pear reversed. It's where your widest measurement is at your shoulders and your most narrow measurement is at your hips. And typically this type of body type has quite thin legs as well. Body type number 5 is the apple. I see this body type mainly in women in their 60s, I'd say, because of menopause, really, and the widest measurement tends to be around the middle here, and then the shoulders and the hips are fairly equal and even in their measurements. So they're the 5 body types that I use. Now, I've pretty much explained how we determine what someone's body type is, and that's through the horizontal measurements. So I have my friend Audrey here. I'm going to move her back because that was my problem with my last video. Just to show you where the best spots to find your measurements are, okay? So there are 3 horizontal measurements that you want to use: shoulders, waist, and hips, okay? You measure your shoulders at your widest part, you measure your waist, and you measure your hips. Now, if you are an hourglass, your shoulders and your hips will be approximately the same measurement, and your waist will be much smaller. If you're a column, your shoulders, waist, and hip measurements will all be roughly the same. If you are a pear or a triangle, your most narrow measurement will be your shoulder, and your widest measurement will be your hips. Sorry, I think Audrey had some dust on her, and now I've just gotten it up my nose, so forgive me for scratching my nose so much. Okay. If you're an inverted triangle, your widest measurement is at your shoulders, and your most narrow measurement is at your hips. And if you are an apple, your widest measurement is through the middle here, and your shoulders and your hips will be roughly the same kind of measurement. Now, once you take your measurements, write them down and look at them. That helps to determine what your body type or body shape is. As I said before, all body shapes are beautiful. One is not more beautiful or appealing than the other. The job of a stylist is the same for every body type, and that is just to create balance. It looks more aesthetically pleasing when you put something together that's balanced from the top to the bottom, and yeah, that's what styling's all about. It's about creating that balance. Again, you may find you're a combination of 2 body types, and that's okay as well. All of our bodies are different. All of our bodies go through changes. If you are a combination of 2 body types, retake your measurements just to double check, and then over the next series of tutorials, I'll be running through each individual body type, so then you'll be able to pick up tips and tricks on how to best dress your body type and body shape. Okay, the second set of measurements that I take as a stylist are the vertical measurements. I don't know why I get them confused. I'm not stupid, I promise. It's the vertical measurements. That helps to determine someone's torso to leg length. So I'll bring Audrey back. If I was measuring Audrey's vertical measurements, I'd measure from the top of her head down to... Do you know what? It's just occurred to me that I haven't introduced Audrey. I'd done that in my last tutorial, and I haven't done it in this one. I don't know why, but my model reminds me of Audrey Hepburn. That's why I refer to her as Audrey. I don't know why I didn't clarify that earlier, sorry. Okay, so to measure Audrey's vertical measurements, I measure from the top of the head down to her hip, and from her hip to the floor. If these measurements are equal, then she is evenly balanced from top to bottom. If the measurement from the head to the hip is longer than the hip to the floor, she's long torsoed. If her measurement from her head to her hip is shorter than her hip to the floor, then she's short torsoed. This measurement helps to create vertical balance. Things like skirt heights, pant lengths, skirt lengths, they're all determined by the vertical measurements. Your horizontal shapes are what give you shape and balance, like waists, balancing hips or shoulders. I did this last time, I meant shoulders and hips. Your vertical measurements help to determine your creating balance from the top of your head down to the tips of your toes. So they're the 2 measurements that we use as personal stylists. Now over the next couple of tutorials, I'm going to be going through the different body types and breaking them down. I'm so sorry, my kids are really loud and my dad's just gotten home and now I'm being interrupted, so excuse me for a minute. Question was, where do I want the roast chicken? In the fridge. Anyway, back to my point. So over the next few tutorials, I will be explaining how to create balance with the individual body type that you have. As I said before, it is all about creating balance. That's what's visually most appealing. And you will find when you go through magazines or when you look at pictures or mannequins, it is all about creating balance, giving shape where there isn't any, or smoothing out lines where perhaps there's a little bit of an imbalance there. So yeah, stay tuned for those next few mini tutorials. I'm looking forward to them. This is one of my favourite parts of the job, is helping to explain the body type and how you can dress it in the best way possible so that you can leave the house feeling super confident in everything that you wear because you've got the knowledge and you know how to put it together. So that's it today. Body types, 2 types of measurements, horizontal, vertical lines, and yeah, as I've said before, it's all about having fun, experiment, play, and I'll see you next time I do a tutorial. Feel free to like, subscribe, or comment in the, I think it's a box below, I don't know, and I will do my best to get back to you. And if you've got any comments or questions, feel free to write them down and put them up there, and I will respond to them in the best way that I can. But yeah, I hope you're enjoying these sessions as much as I'm enjoying making them. All right, see you later.